Hey guys, what's crack-a-lackin'? We are going to be experiencing some extreme aurora tonight, and probably for the next few days. We have a plasma blast from the sun. Well, actually, six of them, believe it or not, but we got one of them moving at 2.2 million miles per hour. That's fast, guys. That's a fast moving CME. That means it gets here in about 2 days or even under 2 days. And yeah, so we're going to just kind of jump into it, fellers and fellettes, and thanks for being here. Okay, guys. Yeah. So if somebody could give me a 5 for 5 in there, we will roll into it. I just want to make sure that my audio's okay. I am a one-man show here, running all the tech stuff and trying to do everything like this too is can tend to, well, how can I say this? Tend to make you a little busy. Little busy. So, yeah. So, hey, Renee. Hey, George. Hey, Becky. Hey, Becky. Next time I do a members-only stream, if you want to come in on a Zoom call with me, you can. Guys, Becky is I'm not sure if she's still a practicing lawyer or not. But she had been a lawyer for 20 years from what I understand. If you want to email me, Becky, you can, and maybe we could bring you in on a Zoom call during one of the members-only streams when we're watching Zoom Court, and you might really help a lot of people understand quite a few things. No pressure, though, so just email me. So what's up, everybody? I just want to say hi to everybody just really quick like, and then we're going to go, because I'm trying to keep this under 15 minutes today on this one. And I'll be back later on with a longer live stream with more detail. But I do want to give you guys first heads up here. Guys, if you remember my live stream last night, it most definitely was kind of interesting. We kind of went a little longer than really what I wanted to. But at the same time, we were talking about so many things that needed to be talked about. So that's what I'll say. Now, this CME that I'm talking about was the exact same CME I said, hey, guys, I think we got a third one, remember? That third one is moving fast. It came from the X1.3 flare. So with that being said, it is moving at over 1,000 kilometers per second. At least that's the initial forecasting. Well, not even initial. They've had a chance to look at this now. So I'll just, just say it that way. So, but yeah, I hope you guys are kind of appreciating the little shorter one here first during the day. I look to try to get this one kind of in the morning, just so you guys understand that, or early afternoon. I typically won't be doing it this late and then doing another one in like 2 or 3 hours. That might happen tonight, but not, on a normal basis. My goal is to change that. I want to make sure that we're kind of doing what we're doing, right? So, anyway, as we speak right now, it is flaring again. So, and that thing is still moving up. You see that little notch, how it's still going up there? If you notice on these flare signatures, these x-rays, if you really, really look, we always get one little notch right there on the end. Almost every time, unless it's very, very impulsive. If it's impulsive, it really means it's just straight up one line back down. But they tend to hang on here for a minute, and I do see a little bit of a yellow showing up right there. And what that means is it's going to be a little bit longer duration. So it'd be interesting to see if this thing breaks into R2 radio blackout range or not. It's really close right now. And it could actually surge on up and become an X-flare, but typically it won't. Because usually if it's going to go to X-flare, it goes to X-flare pretty quick like. Okay? That's usually how it works on the sun. So, let's come down here and look at the absorption, the D region absorption. I had this thing running earlier. Matter of fact, I'm going to update that. Yeah, check that out. Oh yeah. Guys, that might... Okay, well, that actually is a fairly... I didn't expect to see all that red. I'm sorry. I don't mean to... I'm not... I don't want anybody to be scared about that. It just took me... It shocked me a little bit. I wasn't expecting to see that. It's not something that's scary either. But so right now over here in the west, obviously the sun's up, right? So anybody right now that I'm talking to, most people are, that watch my channel, a good portion of them are from over here. Obviously, that's how it works. But I got a lot of people from overseas too. So I think my demographic is like 20 or 25% outside the U.S., which is actually a fairly decent amount. It's usually not that high. I love my Aussie brothers and sisters, and my sisters and brothers over in the UK, across the pond, and everywhere else down in South America. I've got them everywhere, guys. I love my Canucks, Axe and Nacho and Lord Kiss Freak. But anyway, so what I do when I'm looking at these flares, I come down here and I look at this, and I want to show you guys something, okay? Because what happens with flares, it'll go up to its highest range, and then it'll start ticking back down, right? So I'm looking for that tick down. So if it's still increasing right here, and did you see that right there? So let me show you. So what's gonna happen, I think it was that frame right there is the highest it got. Yep. And see how it hung there for another frame, right in the same spot? Now watch the next frame. See how it starts to decrease? And that's the end of the model run. So it's actually on its way down. So it's probably already reached its peak. With that being said, yeah, we're kind of splitting hairs when we're talking one image from the other there. Okay? But what it can mean is the difference between an M flare and an X flare. Just how it gets recorded. So it does look like, I'm not sure if I got quite the R2 or not. It's saying it's not. Okay? It's saying it's an R1, so that would keep it at like an M5 or something. And actually, Dr. Tony Phillips over here at spaceweather.com, he will put that right here. So it was, yeah, that's going to change. This just happened, okay? So that's going to change. That's bigger than an M2, all right? So you get 24-hour max and 6-hour max. When something happens within like a half hour, I'll come over here and look. And it's usually updated right here, but this literally just happened, so it's not updated yet. Okay, so the NOAA model run has now been updated also. Okay? And guys, thank you so much yesterday for the generous gifting of memberships and super chats and everything else. I was completely floored after last night. It really was very humbling, and thank you so much for that. I really do want to say that. I mean that. My wife wanted me to tell you the same thing. So, just so you guys know. Before I forget to say something like that. I like to single people out and say, hey, thank you, but sometimes I forget. So I do apologize for that. It's not intentional. But they're forecasting here, guys. This is going to extend out. Okay, because we got multiple CMEs coming, and I don't look for them to stop. So here is the, you can get like a royal thumb up here too. So G2 is what they're expecting here on the 9th, the 10th, and the 11th, right? That's the max. So, well, it actually says, no, they're talking about radiation storm there. Okay, so yeah, that's what they would expect. That's just a generic thing here at the top to give you a quick overview. But if you want to know the breakdown in hours, it's right here. This is their forecast. So they expect us to go to G2, back down, G2, G1. But I'm also seeing things that are saying G3. So me personally, I'm looking at this, just kind of how I do it all the time. I look at the data first before I look at anybody else's stuff. And let me tell you why. Because I don't want that to influence what I actually think. Okay? So I don't want to come out here and say, well, such and such did this, and so I just, I agree with them. Or maybe I didn't agree with them. So in other words, what I'm saying is, I start a bias unintentionally. So, and I don't want to do that. So I want to see, number one, it helps me hone what I'm doing here, right? Because I can compare what I think is going to happen to people that are way smarter than me. And I have to say that when I do that, typically I'll land in the same place as they do. So it, and that wasn't always the case for me, just so you guys know. Which is why I now cast. and I will continue to do that. I'm not going to change anything there. But so let me show you guys what's going on with all this stuff. Now, I will show you guys where SDO is real quick. I'm not going to talk about it at length this time. It's in geosynchronistic orbit. It does this figure 8 pattern. So it can transmit its data back to White Sands in almost real time. Okay? That's one of the biggest reasons. It stays right here over our planet at all times. But it turns its eye to keep it on the sun at all times. So what that means is the Earth actually will pass between the satellite and the sun a couple times during the year. We call that the eclipse season. Hey, Rick B, I appreciate you. Let's read that out real quick. Let me do that for you too. Brother, I appreciate your analysis, the way you cover things. You don't overhype things. You're a good man. You're doing great. Keep kicking butt. Thank you, Rick B. I appreciate you, man. Those are the kinds of things that just keep me going, guys. Hey, Butterfly, good to see you. Not the replay crew tonight, huh? I love it when you come into the chat and or come into the comment section and do that over there. I do. I really, truly do. Thank you. But thank you, Rick. That's very generous, man. I really appreciate you. Okay, so this satellite keeps turning, right? And it keeps its eye on the sun. So that's the perspective. Really, all you have to know if you're trying to just get a basic idea of what's going on here, it's from our point of view. The sun's far enough away that anything on the day side is just right there, right? Oh, wow, Stephanie Munoz, thank you. 10 gifted memberships. Guys, I tell you what. Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much. I will stop and give you a proper thanks here in a minute. Oh, another $5 super chat. Thanks, Rick. Wow, guys. You guys are awesome. But I will stop and say thanks to you guys here in a minute, okay? I promise. But let me do this. Make sure hers is up there. Okay. Is that showing up on the screen there when I highlight the... Yeah, it is. Okay. I just want to make sure. So, yeah. Now, as we keep moving here, we're going to take a look at this satellite because we almost have to look at this thing now as far as trying to figure out what direction things are traveling because we don't have the other satellite out there, Stereo A, looking from the side. Okay? That's just as simple as that. That's just the way it works, and yeah. So we can get a better understanding of the direction it's actually traveling. Now, doing just a visual of everything that's going on, you can't really tell the speed of things, guys, not to any kind of accuracy. Now, I can tell you if something is moving faster than normal from the way I look at it, right? A lot of us that look at this all the time can almost immediately tell when something's moving faster than what it really should be, right? So it's a fast mover. But at the same time, we can't give you any kind of accurate data on that. There is absolutely no way you can. It's you know what I'm saying? So anyway, you got these X flares popping right here, and it popped over here. That's where the fast one came from, and it was at, I think it was at 17. So watch right here, guys. If I'm correct there. Right there. There's that X flare. Okay? That's the X flare from yesterday. That's the one that's moving fast. Okay? So if you guys remember, I showed you the NOAA model, and remember I said, hey, it's only got 2 of the CMEs on there. I don't see the 3rd. Guess what? They updated it. Lo and behold, there's the 3rd. Okay? So it's got all of them on there now. Now, when I say the 3rd, there's actually some more popping off that it's really not being seen or modeled very, very good right now. And I say that because they're smaller CMEs, and on their own, they probably wouldn't mean anything. A whole lot of nothing, right? But with everything else going on here, we can consider that just extra geomagnetic activity that will push us up into stronger levels. So that's what I'll say. Now, as we're moving here, guys, look at this. Okay? So, well, what I'm going to do, remember, this shows us 2 days historic data. okay? And then it tries to forecast 5 days out in advance, which you guys know I say it all the time. I don't trust it out that far. I trust it to give me just a kind of a ballpark figure, and I think that that's really what they use it for, okay? They're not trying to get down to any kind of accuracy when it comes that far out, because I would think that they, you know, they're aware that things change, right? But anyway, you can see that third CME popping off right there. Look at that. It's just a train of CMEs. Okay? This is a top-down view. This is the bottom. I mean the side cut. Okay, so we look for north-south direction here. And we look for east-west here. And always remember, when you're looking at the sun or anything in space like that, we have to consider that east-west is actually reversed. It's not like looking at our map here. You got to pretend you're on the sun. And just like Obi-Wan used to say, it's all about the perspective. Because you're going to hear everybody in this community talk about that. Because it is. It matters your perspective. It matters where you're standing. The very fact of where you're standing on your latitude right now is why you see the things move the direction and the speed across the sky. That stuff, for all intents and purposes, when you're looking at like a faraway star, you can consider that thing never moving. It's moving. We know that it is, but it's so far away we can't really pick that up. So why does it look like it moves across the sky? Well, because we're moving. It's not. So we have to keep that in mind when we're talking about field rotation and just any of that stuff, right? Star trails, and I know that particular subject right there, for some people, raises some bad stuff because people start arguing over that. I'm not here to do that. It doesn't happen in my chat, so we don't do that. We can have disagreements and talk respectful, but that particular subject, people usually get mean, and I mean mean with a quickness. So yeah. So while I'm bringing this other one up, guys, can you guys give me a roll call in there? I would really appreciate it. I'd like to know where you guys are from. So what I'm going to do, guys, as you guys are doing that, if you guys could just give me a roll call and take the time to hit the like button for me, man. That's awesome when you guys do that, because it does help push the video out and helps us see, helps more people get to see this stuff. And you guys do a great job anyway sharing my stuff out. And I have to say that I've gotten some really good advice from a good friend of mine, and it's making a difference. I'm not sure if you guys looked at the subscriber count, but it's went up 300 or 400 subscribers since he gave me that advice like 3 days ago. So it's yeah, and it's just small little stuff, guys. It makes a difference. It's weird how it hits the algorithm. But yeah, the biggest piece of advice that I took away from the conversation I had with him was, pretend you're the one watching. Would you stop and watch what you just put there? Would that have grabbed your eye? Take your phone when you look at your thumbnail, hold it out 5 feet from your hand, and if you can't read it, make another thumbnail, because most people are looking from their phones. It's so simple advice, but it's so important to know that. And sometimes people just need to be reminded of that, and I needed to be reminded. And it's made a pretty good difference here. So, this is back on the 8th. This is on Soho. This is Lasco C2. This is the satellite's a million miles closer to the sun than what we are. Matter of fact, I'll show it to you. It's right there. Okay. It gives us kind of an advance warning of about an hour. So things are going to hit that satellite before it hits us. Just because of, again, perspective. When things are coming from the sun, the satellite's in front of us, it's going to hit the satellite first. Right? Unless it's a glancing blow that actually misses the satellite. That's happened before. Okay? So, yeah. So now that we know our perspective, we can come down here and check out what's going on with this. So this is on the 8th, and this is an actual disc on the camera. So we look for halo eruptions. A halo eruption, all it means is it looks like a halo when the energy starts poking around here. Okay? What these models aren't really showing us right now, at least the NOAA model isn't, and neither is the NASA Endless Spiral models. It's the same model, but let me do this real quick. Hold on. Oh man, hold on. Sorry guys, I got a little technical thing going on here. Hey Red Wine, thank you. Welcome to the Kool-Aid Krew. Appreciate you, 100%. Oh, we get another super chat there or not? No, that was already there, I think. If I miss somebody please scream at me. One of my mods just scream at me. Say, hey, you missed somebody. You better tell them thanks. But yeah, so where are we from, guys? I'll take the time here. Red Wine, yay, baby. Heck yeah. Star Hunter, what's up? Cajun Red, Stephen A, what's happening? Medford, Oregon, love it, Star Hunter, love it. The Cajun Gal, what's up? Enigma's in the house, Butterfly's here, Dude, what's up? Heck yeah. Williamson Valley, Arizona. That's an interesting name. I don't know if I know where that's. I know where Arizona's at, but I don't know where that particular town is. Camp Krusty, center of Maine. Heck yeah, baby. That's right, Gunslinger. You're awesome, man. Regurgitating 9 o'clock news. That is one of the most brilliant and on point screen names I have ever seen in my life. Fort Worth, Texas. Hey, I'm going to tell you guys something about Wages World here real quick. Hey, Rhonda, good to see you. Keto Mama's here too. Daryl's here. Wow, man, guys, thank you. This is either going to make me hate you. Stephanie, almost 100%. Okay, that's highlighted down there now if you guys want to read her comment. Montana most likely is going to see some Aurora tonight. If not tonight, tomorrow you got a chance. For the next 3 or 4 days, you got a chance. Okay, what's going to matter is the timing of when these things hit. That's what's going to make the difference. In my mind, there is no question we're going to see Aurora. It's just going to matter where it shows up on our planet, depending on when it hits. Okay, but yeah. So I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. So when he not regurgitating 9 o'clock news, Fort Worth, Texas. Anybody doesn't know anything? Dallas, Texas, and Fort Worth. It's the same city now. It's a megatropolis. It grew together, that kind of thing. So, yeah. So now you either hate me or love me. Let it rain, baby. Let it rain, Leroy. Love it. Okay. So, and I feel like I'm kind of squirreling here a little bit, guys. I need to slow down a little bit. I apologize. Let's see here. Where do I want to take you next? Well, because, listen, this Soho, we're seeing multiple halo eruptions here, okay? So I'm going to slow down here and just show you what's up. I feel like I was moving too fast. I apologize, guys. Because I don't want people to not understand what I'm saying, just so I can get through the information quick. I would rather do it a little bit slower and go a little bit long than that. So I am going to concentrate on this for now, guys. I'll say thanks again here in just a few minutes. But anyway, let's go ahead and start that. You can see, it's hard for you guys to see, I know it is. But anyway, there's more than one eruption in there, guys. Okay? I can see the halo stuff, and they're very, very weak CMEs. So I don't know how much of an effect it's really going to have, or does it really even matter. It's just going to matter the timing, like I said a minute ago, and a whole lot of other things. You know, if we get hit with this 2.2 million mile per hour mover, right? It's gonna really blast our magnetic field. Okay, so our magnetic field is going to have to recover, and if it ain't recovered all the way, smaller eruptions after that can have bigger effects than what they typically would have. So that's why I mentioned that. So, yeah. Now, again, this is the NASA model. This is what I'm talking about, a weak one. Can you guys even see the CME? You don't really see it, do you? It's hard to see because it's so weak. Look right here. See that? I'll follow it again with my cursor. Okay. Now watch over here. You'll see it get distorted right there. See that? That's a really weak CME. Okay. So, and it doesn't even look like it's going to hit us. That one actually just happened a few hours ago. But it's not even big enough for me to really even talk about. That's what I'm trying to say. It's got to be significant enough to impact us. It does look like we're starting to get some geomagnetic activity, so this could be a precursor to what's getting ready to happen. Because their forecast, if you look at it, break it down by hours up here, see this bar right here? It was supposed to start right here. Okay? And it goes straight to a G2. So what they're thinking is probably this fast one's going to hit like right away. And not this fast one, but the ones in the front of it are going to hit. And everything is just kind of, it's getting crammed together, I have to say. You know? So that's just what I'll say. Human Truth Seeker, good to see you. Lived in Mission, Texas for 6 months, the home of Tom Laundry. Yeah, there you go. Talk about a famous name right there. Tom Laundry. Heck yeah. That's awesome. Okay, so anyway, this could start at any time. That's my point. And that's kind of why I'm here right now. I wanted to let you guys know, hey, this could start at any time. Right? Now, again, I can't give you 100%, which is why I just nowcast. Now, I can give you my opinion, but I do think we're starting to get hit because watch the pressure build back here. This is magnetic pressure. Sun's off to the left, okay? That's our bow shock, that curved. It's the first point of contact from space weather to our magnetic field. Now, do you see that building right there? That right there is telling me that we're starting to see some activity, okay? It doesn't have to be fast. It doesn't have to be very dense. It just has to be a little uptick at a time, being very consistent in order to add enough to really start that game off, right? But at the same time, sometimes they hit with no ramp up. Sometimes they just crack us. I mean, and if that 2.2 million mile per hour mover was on its own, most likely that's what would happen. But because it has stuff in front of it, it's gonna appear just a little different. And again, guys, the timing is just so key to this. It really is. And by the way, Stephanie Munoz, thank you again for the gift of memberships. And I'm glad that you're here for a live. I know you've been having problems to get here for a live because you got stuff going on. So I'm glad I was able to be here when you could be here. That's awesome. So thank you for that again, by the way. All right. So this is density. I'm not going to waste a whole lot of time on this, guys, because there's not much to show you right now when it comes to this. We are seeing the activity start, though. Okay. It's not massive right now. Now, I do want to say this too, guys. Here's the Discover data, and we're not at a -6. But if we go from what we're doing right now to a G4 or a G5 real quick, you guys know that I will be here immediately. You guys know that. That's what I want you guys to really have an understanding of that, okay? Because, yeah, it matters. And I want to make sure that you guys have that confidence in the way that, you don't have to be glued to your TV or glued to YouTube trying to figure stuff out. If something like that's happening, I will be here. I promise. So all you got to do is turn that notification bell on. I'll be here as quick as I can get here. And most of the time, for most things that I do, we don't have to do any of that. We don't have to jump right out here, right? I'm not, we usually got time. But with a fast mover, when things hit, sometimes things go from 0 to hero real quick. You know what I mean? So if that happens, I do come out and tell you guys. But one of the key things I need to, really point out is this BZ. Okay, the BZ we look for -6. That's the threshold we look for. That's really for just for understanding things at a very basic level. If you just want to know, hey, when we're at a -6 on the BZ, geomagnetic activity gets in easier. So we get hit harder, right? And then the opposite would be true. Hey, Ripper, good to see you, brother. But on the other end of that, when it goes to the north, magnetic polarity goes to the north here, the positive, it actually helps deflect things. So this BZ is very important. And I've seen us take real massive hits that really should put us into G2, G3 areas for it to not even get to geomagnetic storm level. And what that does is it gives people a false sense of, security, if you want to use those words, in the fact that the next time we have a CME, they're going to think everything's a nothing burger. But that's not the case. There's reasons for things happening. And this is one of those things we don't know. This parameter, this data point here, we can't know that until it gets here. That's the unfortunate part about the BZ. Okay, so density's going up. It's staying low right now, right? But that's going to jump. Promise. Speed. This is what we're going to be looking for. Okay? When that thing, if it gets to 1,000 kilometers per second, that will be over 2 million miles per hour. Okay? So when things like that hit, they get here in about 2 days. So we could see a cannibal CME if it's moving fast enough. It might catch up with the one in front of it and become a cannibal CME. Basically, that you get a shock wave in between those two CMEs because you get the snowplow effect. It just rolls up density in between the two CMEs. So, and then it basically acts like another CME hit. And it can really throw us into some really high geomagnetic activity. Okay, so here's the Aurora. This is their forecast. Okay? So that's today, that's tonight, tomorrow night. So, Montana, yes. Stephanie, you should be seeing some here tonight if you've got good enough weather, right? And tomorrow. I can't tell you the next day, but they will run that. But this is what it looks like right now. Okay, that's the north. Yes, there's southern lights for those of us Yankees up north here. You might not know that. Some people just think it because we always hear northern lights, right? Well, they get them in the South Pole too. People in Australia, they know that because that's what they see, right? When it gets very intense. So this is what we got going on right now. You can tell where there's hardly any activity there. So, yeah. That's what I'll say there. Now, let's go ahead and take you over here to Dr. Tony Phillips' website. This is spaceweather.com. Guys, this is the go-to. If you guys don't go over here, you're doing yourself a disservice. You really are. This gives us a really good, just over the top, like, bam, there it is. Short to the point. He talks about the main space weather news of the day, and he will change this throughout the day if things change. So this right here, he's showing you that X-flare. I'm not going to read this because I would love for you guys to go over there and read it. Also, you can go back and look at his stuff over here to whatever date you want, and it's awesome. I mean, it just really is a great web page. So please come over here and check it out and give him some traffic. I promise you he would appreciate that. I've never talked to Dr. Tony Phillips. I just think it's a great website. But here's that monster sunspot. It is now directly in front of us. So if that thing starts to flare, we'll just have to keep an eye on it. I don't really see it doing much right this second, but it could. Let me get my son's going to go to work. I'm going to give him a hug. Hold on a minute. Love you, brother. See you when you get home. All right, guys. So anyway, let's check this out. Okay, now I want to talk about this for a second. This is the geoelectric field model. And this model right here, what it does is it will show you the geoelectric field at the surface. Okay? This is trying to represent space weather's effect on unnatural electrical components. Okay? Wall switches, wires, anything that isn't made naturally, right? Hey, miss, good to see you. But this is here basically to try to bridge a gap between forecasting earthquakes, because we know space weather has an effect on it, right? Whenever we have a coronal hole, almost every time we will see a seismic uptick. It doesn't necessarily have to be, hey Kathy, it doesn't necessarily have to be a massive earthquake, right? It could be a volcano, it could be geysers, it could be, any and all that stuff. Seismic activity in general, right? Now, it may not even be big stuff in one spot. It may just be an overall uptick throughout the planet. And when that's actually happening, it's hard to detect, hey, well, is this coronal hole having an effect? Well, I can assure you that it does. But how does that all work? I don't know. They have some good ideas and theories, but they still don't know. When I say they, I'm talking about everybody else but me. Okay? So, and they've got, a lot of people got some really good theories on what data to look at and why it's doing what it's doing. And I can almost get on board with a few of it. I really can, because it does seem as though that's what's going on. But they've created this model, and Canada got on board here with this too. It didn't used to have this Canadian part. Okay, this model's fairly new. So you can see where NOAA and USGS and the Natural Resources of Canada have all teamed up with this thing. And that's why. Now, I'm telling you that for one reason. The rest of the world doesn't have this. I can't show you Mexico. I can't show you across, over in Asia, over in Australia. I can't, none of that. I can just show you the lower 48 here and Canada. That's all we get, right? I would imagine they're trying to work their way to include the whole globe. But right now, this is what we have, okay? So, let's see here. I'd love to see what... Yeah, I don't know, Aaron. To be honest with you, I don't even know what map that is. Alexander Gleason's New Standard Map of the World. Yeah. I'm not sure what the conversation is in there. I just happened to catch that one. It's a long comment, so it kind of drew my eye over there. Hey, Uncle Mike. Yeah, Rich, yeah, I wouldn't even have a clue. Just to be honest with you, when it comes to earthquake prediction, I have no clue on how to do any of that. I'm telling you exactly what I know. Okay? I mean, honestly, that's where my earthquake forecasting knowledge is. So, yeah. But, anyway. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Dillard. The Prince of the Fresh Air. That's so freaking awesome. Yeah, just don't get on stage and slap another man in the face during like some big award show. You might halfway ruin your career for a while. Anyway, that's right. Keep my wife's name out your mouth. What up, M. Hunt? Good to see you. Okay, guys. But, unless you guys got any questions, that's really all I've got for you right now. And I know I went way long. this may be, unless we have some big massive thing go on tonight, um, I might not come back on. But don't think that I'm not. I mean, right now I'm just playing it by ear. I do have some family stuff going on, but I can leave that and do a live stream if I need to. Um, Tonight I can anyway. I'm trying to do 2 a day, and starting Monday, I actually have a somewhat of a template made. I'm going to be doing a 10 to 15 minute video every morning, or at least, like I said earlier, every morning, early afternoon, and then I can live stream at night, 9-ish Eastern Standard Time, 8:30, 9, around that area, maybe even 9:30. I tend to have a lot of good luck between 9 and 10. Seems like a lot of people are starting to settle down, and I'm able to hit most people throughout the states because there's a 3-hour time difference between me and the West Coast. I'm able to include more people. And I know people are probably going to drop off here real quick. As soon as I say stuff like that, it cracks me up, man. I do the same thing when I'm watching somebody else. They can hear them winding down, and man, they just bolt out. You can see the amount of people that are in the chat just start dropping by like 50 at a time. It's funny. I do the same thing though, so I'm not complaining about it. I'm just saying. But I do want to say thanks again, guys, to Rick and Stephanie, and who else donated. Guys, I can't see it, and I apologize for that. I have to actually log off and go look at a different screen and everything else to be able to see what happened as far as super chats. Rick gave, him and Stephanie. I'm not sure if anybody else. Oh, we had another member. Who was it though? I'll shout you out in the next live stream, guy, whoever that was. Okay, unless you're still here and you want to let me know. I am Planet Hermit. That's right, you're still here. That's right, baby. Thank you for your, again, thank you for your generous memberships too, Hermit. I mean, you guys are just killing it. Who else is there? Hey, Daryl. AA Ron, Deep Quake, Genius by Birth, Miss Dragon, K. K's been, I mean, there's so many of you guys, it's just crazy. You're welcome, Bill. And guys, I will be doing a members only. Again, guys, like I said, I'm going to try to do it once a week, and I hope that Becky will come on with me or at least be there in the chat. She, like I said, guys, she's a lawyer, and we've been watching the Zoom court over there. I'm not in court. It's public court. You can get on the internet. Just go look at the genre. It's a fairly new genre. It's about a year or two old. It started when COV was going on because they had to find a way to still do court. And that's how they did it. But now they're doing it just for to get people in court. Because people just used to not show up, and then they would be in contempt, and then would get warrants issued and all that kind of stuff. It's helped a lot when it's come to that. But when watching it, sometimes I can see the frustration on the judge's face because if there's any technical issues, oh my gosh, it's hard to watch. I mean, I couldn't imagine sitting there trying to do a court proceeding and you're trying to catch every other word. It's like, wow. So I've seen them actually stop and say, hey, we're going to have to bring you in here in like a week. They put it on for a continuance and they come back in a week and do the whole thing again. But yeah, it's kind of crazy. We have a good time though. Hey, Axonacho. What is today? Today is Friday. Are you going to be on live tonight, man? Hey, Isaac, good to see you. Hey, Isaac, I'm working on that, guys. Okay? So if you guys got any art or anything like that, it's got to be fairly simple, not a whole bunch of colors. I'm thinking about doing some coffee mugs or some tumblers and trying to do some merch stuff just because. I've been doing this for however long, and I've never done anything like that. But yeah. How large X-Flare is CME to cause a Squatterman Aurora event? I don't even know what a Squatterman Aurora event is. I can Google it. I'll go look at that when I get off stream. If that's it, I'm assuming it's like a extreme Aurora event, but I wouldn't be able to put a geomagnetic storm level on it there for you, bud. Back at you, BK. Good to see you, bud. Hope you're good, man. But yeah. I'm reading you there, Kathy. Aloha. Heck yeah. Heck yeah, baby. Paula, what's up? I still love that. Yeah, it is regurgitating. It's bluecool52 at Gmail. Or if you just, you can actually just click on my name. I think you can click on it, and then it'll send you to my email. Hey, Linda, good to see you. I didn't see you, actually. You guys going live? I think you guys are going live tonight, aren't you? Oh, really? That's interesting, Stephanie. I'm not going to say those words out loud because it'll kill the video, but that is very interesting. I'll have to go check that out. I didn't know that. Awesome. All right, guys. I am going to get out of here. So thank you for being here. I may come back with another live stream later on, guys. I may not. Just depends. Just depends on what's happening, okay? Anyway, guys. God bless. Yahusha saves. And as always, you can drink this Kool-Aid.